Thank you for listening to REED-BBS.
REED-BBS. BBS. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. They had a two-city press tour hyping the Friday, November 14th exhibition. Jake's company, MVP, withdrew its application to stage this exhibition in Atlanta, the ATL, Georgia. So, like LeBron James, Jake and Tank and MVP, they're taking their talents to South Beach, Miami, Florida. The original date is still intact, November 14th, and this farce of a fight, this exhibition, is still on Netflix. And where Jake Paul says, I quote, "It's gonna beat Terence versus Canelo numbers with ease." And when you add the car crash factor, the what's gonna happen factor, it probably will. That's a safe assumption. Now, two things can be true here. One, this is the clownest of clown fights. I'm making up a word in this video. Clownest. It's like the highest level of clown. Okay? Jake versus Tank will be the clownest of clown fights. Only thing missing here is a fucking trapeze artist and a lion tamer. Because this is some straight up circus shit. Number two, though, two things can be true. Number two, I am not mad at Jake Paul at all. And I alluded to this in my last Jake versus Tank video, link to which is in the description box. Check it out. I can't be mad at Jake Paul for being Jake Paul or pimping the proceeds of being Jake Paul. I can't do that. I can't knock his hustle. And already, 5 years as a pro or whatever it is, we can like it, love it, loathe it. It don't matter. Jake Paul is probably the second most powerful man in all of boxing. I repeat, second most powerful man in all of boxing. Now, for the longest, Al Heyman and PBC, they ran boxing. But as I speak today, boxing is ran by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Ring Magazine, the Ring Magazine cards, the Riyadh season cards, promoters shutting the fuck up. Finally, the best, finally fighting the best consistently. That's all Turki Al-Sheikh. Well, again, Jake Paul just might be the second most powerful man in all of boxing. It started with him on the undercard of MikeTyson versus Roy Jones, where he destroyed Nate Robinson, to then A-side treatment for Jake Paul over Mike Tyson. First dibs on the fight poster with Mike Tyson. Serious negotiations to face Canelo Alvarez. Serious negotiations to face AnthonyJoshua. Like, this is real shit. Real negotiations involving Jake Paul. And now he's facing Gervonta Tank Davis, where once again, Jake Paul is getting A-side treatment over Tank Davis. First dibs on the poster over Tank Davis. With that, it gets deeper. With that, Jake Paul is almost single-handedly carrying women's boxing. Not that you care, I do. I love women's boxing. Jake Paul is almost single-handedly carrying that shit. On that note, he's featuring Alicia the Bomb Baumgardner in a 12 by 3 minute fight instead of this 2-minute shit, 10 2-minute rounds that they be giving women's championship fights. Like, fuck that. Jake Paul, he's doing it, man. The Tank versus Jake show also features Gary Antoine Russell making a super lightweight title defense, but I digress. So yeah, once again, right there, right here, right now, other than His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, name a bigger player in boxing than Jake Paul and MVP. I'll wait. On that note, there isn't a fighter in the world that doesn't want to face Jake Paul. And now that he's fighting Tank, the the floodgates could possibly open to Jake versus other weight classes. Hypothetically, you think Jake Paul versus my dude, my bruh, my Tomodachi, Naoya Inoue in Japan, you think that wouldn't sell like a motherfucker? Now, I'm pulling that one out of my ass. There's no talks of Jake versus Inoue, and I seriously doubt Inoue would sully his pristine image by going that route. He wouldn't do that. This is all hypothetical. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Anyways, during the two-city press tour, Jake was selling it as Jake versus a pound-for-pound guy. Sorry, but pound-for-pounders do pound-for-pound shit. And Tank Davis simply does not do pound-for-pound shit. So survey says, and Tank was melancholy. He was subdued. At times, he looked like a scared child next to the big bad Jake. Among his comments, he said, I'll let him do all the talking. You've been boxing, 5 years? We'll see what he's about come November 14th. Tank also said that boxing wins on November 14th. No. Because in his last fight, Jake Paul was nearly 66 pounds heavier than Tank Davis was in his last fight. So yeah, survey says, Jake, he kind of slipped a little bit. He mentioned outboxing Tank. He literally said outbox Tank. And I think Jake may be giving away the script here a bit. The plot line. Outboxing Tank. The simple fact is Jake Paul has a 0% chance of out-cuting, out-finessing, or outboxing Tank Davis. And the thing about size in boxing, the smaller guy is typically more skillful and obviously quicker, faster, more agile, and superior in terms of cardio and endurance. So that makes no mention of the fact that Tank has boxed his entire life, while Jake Paul just started 5 years ago. So outbox Tank? Survey says, and among the other quotes, Jake said Tank couldn't read because Tank misread MVP on the fight banner that was right in his fucking face. He called it MP or something. When asked how he was prepping to fight Tank, Jake said he was working on punching down, hitting below his knees. He said he was sparring 8-year-olds. When Tank was asked what weight he would, speaking of weight, the weight limit for this fight is 195. They were asked, a reporter asked Tank what weight he was thinking about coming in at. And before he could answer, Jake said with or without an ankle monitor, with or without handcuffs. Jake made his domestic abuse references. He was digging in deep. This was at the first presser, though. I noticed Jake was a lot more kind at the second stop, the second leg of the two-city tour. Again, all the scripting. Almost like Tank, like, hey, man, I ain't like how you was making me feel at this first presser. Again, when Tank was looking like a scared child. So at the second presser, Tank kind of shoves Jake, and Jake's a lot nicer and not as confrontational and aggressive in his comments and shit. The script is already in. He's mentioning outboxing Tank. You know what I'm saying? I don't like none of this. I don't like none of this, but I'm a boxing fan. I'm gonna watch it, and it's on Netflix, so it don't cost shit. Tank was asked his thoughts on taking this fight over the Shakurs, the Teofimos, you know, guys who actually matter in terms of your legacy in boxing. And Tank said, why should I care what the fans think? Y'all switch on your favorite fighters. Just sit back and be fans and enjoy the sport. Y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. And see, those, my friend, those are the words of a serial, career-long cherry picker. The fact that legacy doesn't matter to Tank is why I stopped fucking with him in a pound-for-pound sense long ago. That shit is old news. But anyways, as we get closer, there will unfortunately be more Jake versus Tank content. So please don't Charlie Kirk me, all right? I'm just a messenger. REED-BBS, BBS. Black Burke Sugar. Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the fistic arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.